Nod or shake reviews. Willie nod or Willie shake. Yeah!
It's me, Johnny with the Jimbabi. Welcome. Okay, I had to stop, but if you will indulge me, imagine that for an hour and a half. And I think whatever you got against Chris Pratt, give the dude a break. I think hearing the Mario voice for an hour and a half is absolutely the most maddening thing anybody could hear. So,
yeah, I thought they, well,
because I know there was this controversy. Like every other month, there was a controversy with like how a person did the voice, and I'm like, frankly, that was the least thing to complain about, in my opinion.
Yeah, I forgot.
Welcome
forgot right away.
Welcome to another thing. People who just complain about everything. Welcome to another thing of Nod or Shake reviews. Nod if it's good, shake if it's not so good. Either way, you should check it out because you might find your new favorite movie. This month we're going to review a lot of movies just so we can get to our 200th review a lot quicker than we want. We want it to land on May 4th, Guardians of the Galaxy Part 3. So definitely subscribe to see all the happenings in April. Alrighty, here we go! On to the review! That's a bad Mario.
It's like the worst.
I apologize. I think
heard.
Chris Pratt did a better job than I did. Alrighty, on to the review. The Super Mario Brothers movie. I didn't hate it, but overall I was just, I guess, disappointed is the word. I want to say this, though. A lot of the people around us enjoyed it. The kids enjoyed it. It was probably one of the biggest turnouts for a movie, if I remember correctly, probably since Spider-Man No Way Home, I think. So take that for what you will. For me,
doesn't mean it was any good.
Yeah, but still, I do appreciate when a movie has that power to bring people
Doesn't
together.
mean it was any good.
I think the big problem with me is, and stay with me if you can, this really could have been any movie. Like, it didn't need to be a Mario movie. Like, you could almost do this exact movie with different names of characters.
Oh, you know what's funny?
What?
They have.
Yeah.
This is par for the course, bro.
It's your
Continue your review, but that's why you say that, because it's literally what they do now. But go ahead.
It's kind of like your run-of-the-mill, mediocre animation movie in 2023. So that was kind of my problem. I think I would have liked it a lot better. I also just don't like Illumination, whatever the production, the people who do Despicable Me. I think those movies are highly underrated. You want to see the good version of that movie, you watch Megamind. What's that?
Underrated?
Overrated. Did I say underrated?
Yeah.
Over. Despicable Me didn't really do anything too much for me. It was fine.
No, it wasn't.
And then they kept going. I was like,
no,
please
it wasn't. It
stop.
was exactly what Illumination does. Par for the course.
Yeah.
They realized that they had something with the little yellow men, the minions, and they're like, let's keep regurgitating that up.
Yeah. But yeah, I feel like that they could have done a lot more with the decades worth of games, and I personally think it would have been a lot better if they kind of went with how they did the Lego movie. I think, like, if they kind of
Can I be straight?
Be straight.
Like, last week we saw Dungeons and Dragons, and like it was exciting for for like the
fans.
Yeah, for the fans.
Yeah.
This was anytime that something came on screen that was recognized from the video game, I was like, ugh.
It was kind of like the opposite. Not terribly, but it was the opposite of Dungeons and Dragons for me. It was a studio made
everything that we could throw in, especially from the more recent game.
I didn't really mind that.
And I think it's done.
Another thing I just want to throw in there real quick. Kudos to the composer. I think they did a very good job of incorporating their original score with the score of all the games, past and present. But yeah, that's kind of my.
I guess
I thought that was kind of cool. Like,
Honestly,
they could have easily just put whatever song they wanted, but they kind of incorporated it, and it kind of was a very smooth transition.
I could have just taken the video game soundtrack, because who cares? Honestly, I think I'm literally fed up with this. I'm fed up with it. I want something new. I want something original.
You want to see something original? The Mitchells versus the Machines, if you haven't seen that.
Okay, great.
It's a very good movie.
One movie out of the hundreds that we come see. No, I'm just like, I'm sick of it. I would have watched the 90s version over this.
I think I do. I have to see it again. It's been a while, but I think I do prefer the Bob Hoskins version over this one.
Honestly, it's nothing original about it. It's just sucked. Ugh, I have a headache just thinking about this movie. I didn't like I'm like you. I'm not gonna sit here and say that I hated it. It wasn't one of those movies but like the jokes, all the jokes are the typical jokes that you would see in a movie like this. No originality whatsoever. And the last thing, the absolute last thing, is the fact that Chris Pratt didn't use the voice.
And funny enough, he did. And they kind of poked people, whether they meant to or not. I don't know if they did that before or after all the controversy, but they do the voice. And they do that's a little much. And I'm like, that was a perfect joke. It wasn't hysterical, but that's a good way.
No, 100%. That was probably put in after the fact. After they got all the guff, it was just a little too perfect. Bob Hoskins didn't do it.
Yeah.
He didn't do it.
I mean, nobody really did anything. There wasn't a lot of, acting.
Jack Black.
Charlie Day. Jack Black was probably, the only one.
I'll be honest. I didn't even think his performance was all that. He just went in and he was like, all right, I'm going to be Jack Black.
Yeah, Charlie Day was not trying to be Luigi. Anya Taylor-Joy was not trying to be Peach. So, yeah, ultimately I was just kind of disappointed. It's just there. It's not terrible.
And the inclusion of the go-karts, come on, man, pick something. Pick one thing.
I actually think they could have gone a little more, if I have to be honest. But
more with the regurgitated nonsense?
I mean, it's Mario, It's Mario.
You could have figured out something. Some way, if you had to do it. Sonic did it.
I don't really know the lore of Mario. I play the games. I hate that he's from Brooklyn. I don't know. Again, I don't know if that's really in the games, but in the
later games. He is. He's a plumber.
I know, but I think I just like that he's just in this fantastical world of crazy nonsense.
Well, you have to assume that he got there somehow.
I don't know.
I mean, this movie
tried to don't tell me.
But that's exactly my point. The first game, Super Mario Brothers, and I'm sorry, I know that's not the first game. There's multiple before that. But I'm just basing it on the most popular game in the field, Super Mario Brothers on.
He's just there, hanging out.
Just there, and I agree with you.
That.
This movie tried to say, well, this is how it started, and this is what's going on now.
I didn't need that.
And exactly, but with Sonic, you had no backdrop, and the movie gave you more.
Yeah.
Than what you normally had, and they did it in an original way while still sticking to the character and what the character was.
Yeah. Alrighty. We do have to go, though. We are streaming with Bunny Villain at 8 o'clock, so if you're watching this before then, check that out. Tomorrow, we have Air, the Michael Jordan biopic thing. That probably is 5% true, because that's all biopics. Alrighty, see you tomorrow. Thanks for cringing. Bye-bye.
Here we go.